Hey my beautiful Aquarius peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Sam from CancerMoonsTarot and I'm coming at you guys with your May 2022 tarot reading. How are you guys? I hope you guys are well. Without further ado, let's dive on into this and see what we got going on. What do we got coming up here for Aqua? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2022. The first card out we have is going to be the Listen card. So this could be about the card of focusing and listening to what your intuition has to tell you. Moving on to the next card, we have here Daydreams and Decisions. Ooh, I actually really like this combination for you guys jumping into the month of May because this is kind of like that intuitive nudge that your spirit guides are giving you to tell you, hey, what you're daydreaming about, what you're thinking about, what you're fantasizing about, that right then and there is an indicator that you should go for it. So it kind of feels to me like if you've been daydreaming about a new business, about a certain type of career for yourself, about a hobby, about anything you want to do with your personal life, you know, that's your intuition and your higher self telling you, hey, you're probably not that fulfilled with what's going on right now, especially if you're being distracted from the present. So chances are what you want is what will be fulfilling to you. What you're daydreaming about will be exactly what you're looking for. So why don't you go for it? So I do feel that coming into the month of May here, you're getting that intuitive push to go towards what you're daydreaming about in general. And yeah, I do want to mention that, by the way, too. It's pretty important to realize because if it's really hard to stay present to the moment, if you're like very easily distracted in your day-to-day life right now, if you find it difficult being present and you're always daydreaming about something else, chances are it's because you want to be living the life of what it is you're actually daydreaming about. So let's go ahead and have a look here, starting off with your recent past. What do we have for the recent past here for Aquarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus during May 2022. We have here the Six of Wands, we have here the Seven of Cups, and we have here the Sun card. So in the recent past, I do see that there's been some success for you for sure, but I've also see that there's been a lot of options, a lot of opportunities, and a lot of confusion on what's going to bring you your happiness, what's going to be your happy life, what's going to be you essentially living your best life, Aquarius. I think that it's been a little unclear of what path you should be on that would actually bring you the ultimate happiness, and that would be you kind of considering that you're living your best life. So you feel like in the past, granted, you've come across some success, you don't feel like you were living your dream life, you know? There's still more to do, there's still more that could be better for me out there than what I previously had. So looking into the recent past, you were still pretty dissatisfied. You didn't feel like your life was the ultimate fulfillment yet. And I do see here that coming into the present, you are still feeling that way as well. Let's go ahead and have a look at the current energies, though. We'll see if there's anything different. What current energies do we have for Aquarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus during May 2022. And what do we got? We got here the Four of Pentacles, we have here the High Priestess, and we have here the Four of Swords. Actually, in the present moment, it kind of seems to me like you've just accepted your life as is. It's like, this is my fate, you know, this is what it's going to be, and it's not going to change. So you've kind of like accepted that you're not going to be living your dream life, that the current lifestyle you're living now is just what it's going to be, and you're really in that energy where it's like, it is what it is. You know, Four of Pentacles here all the way to the High Priestess, you know, you feel that you're stuck, you're trapped, but your higher self's trying to communicate to you, and that's the big thing about this month. The High Priestess here is the card of your higher self, it is the card of your intuition, so your higher self is trying to say to you, you may feel currently defeated, you may have felt that you're not going to ever get the dream life that you want, but I'm trying to talk to you and tell you that you can. So if you're constantly daydreaming over here, I think it's a message from your guides telling you, go after that lifestyle. Go after that dream life you want to build. Now, with the Four of Swords showing up over here for the current energies too, this is the card that's screaming kind of a lack of motivation. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go for it. I'm just going to kind of stay exactly right where I am. So Aquarius, you've kind of accepted defeat. It's like you've accepted, this is how my life is going to be. This is how my life is going to stay. I don't really feel like trying because why bother when I don't really believe that it's going to work out? There's a quote that I learned from somebody, or that I heard from somebody, Aaron Dowdy. You guys should check him out on YouTube. He's very awesome. And he says, and I quote, the more, how do we say this? Was it the more you dream, the more dream life your life becomes? Or yeah, I think it was something along those lines. I think I might have butchered it, to be honest, Aquarius. There's a chance I might have butchered it. You know what? Give me 1 sec. I want to go ahead and get that quote before we move any further without butchering it, so we'll be right back. Okay, Aquarius, we have got the quote. So it says, the more you realize that life is a dream, the more dreamlike your life will become. And I think that that was something pretty powerful to implement into this reading. So let me repeat that one more time. The more you realize that life is a dream, the more dreamlike your life will become. Now, the reason why I mention that is because you are in a position of daydreams and decisions. You know, you're fantasizing about the reality you want to live, the reality that you desire. And the more that you kind of look at the life and look at the world that you're living as a dream, the more you'll recognize that you actually have the ability to make dreams come true. You know, when we think about dreams, anything can happen. There is no limits, there are no impossibilities. When you dream, anything can literally happen. And if you kind of look at life in that format, then you will start to see that you can actually live out whatever it is that you genuinely desire, because you'll start to believe that anything is possible, which it is. Do remember that the word impossible literally spells out I'm possible, so that means that there are endless possibilities in this world. So like I mentioned anyways, going back to what your current energies are saying, it's kind of like, I give up, I don't want to move forward, I'm just going to kind of accept life for what it is. Let's go ahead and look at the challenge for you guys here in May. What is going to be the challenge here for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2022. And what do we have? We have here the Three of Wands. Moving forward from that, we also got here the King of Wands. And then lastly for you guys is going to be the King of Swords. So taking a look here at your challenge, Three of Wands, King of Swords. I feel like with the Three of Wands here to the King of Wands, the challenge is actually going for it. I think that the Three of Wands has been the energy of like, I've been waiting for my life to actually shift. I've been waiting for my life to become everything that I want it to, and it hasn't. So if it hasn't happened, as long as I've been waiting, why even bother trying to go for it? I think that that's where the challenge lies. But remember, when you're in the energy of waiting for something, Three of Wands, you know, all you're going to get back in return is more waiting, because the universe responds very, very directly to what it is you're doing. So if you're not taking action to get what you want, and you're in the energy of stagnation, the energy of waiting, you're always going to be in the energy of waiting for what you want to show up. It's never going to actually show up unless you take the action to make it happen. So Aquarius, you've been in the energy of waiting. You've kind of been letting life pass you by, wondering when you'll have your big break, wondering when your dream life will start to become a reality for you. But with the lack of action, that's why it hasn't happened for you. So I think the challenge here is taking that first step, you know, to really start getting your life in motion to where you want it to be. King of Swords here, King of Wands. King of Swords is a card of determination. I think it's also a challenge for you to feel determined. It's a challenge here for you to feel motivated, because there has to be some sort of lack of belief within yourself that's preventing you from giving this a chance. You know, when you've kind of accepted your fate as is, you're like, this is my life, this is what it's going to be, chances are you don't believe that your life can change. You don't believe that your dream life can be your reality. And if you have a lack of belief there, you're never going to push yourself to go for it, because you believe, why bother? It won't happen anyways. So why waste the energy? Why waste my breath? Why waste my action? So the first thing to really help you guys out in the month of May is to take a look back at that quote that I mentioned recently from Aaron Doughty and recognize if you look at life more as a dream, the more dream-like your life will become. If you look at your life as anything is possible, you will start to see the possibilities work in your favor. Don't look at what you want as impossible, because it is very much so a real possible reality, but you have to be willing to not only believe in yourself, you have to be willing to take action to get there. There is two recipes with law of attraction. You know, a lot of people think about law of attraction in the format of, well, if I think and I visualize what I want and I believe and think that it's going to happen, it's just going to show up at my doorstep. You know, you got one part of it right, but there's another part that you need with law of attraction to really manifest what you want in your life. It's not just about thinking, visualizing, and positive thoughts and positive energy, and poof, what I want is going to appear. You got to take action. There is no law of attraction without the law of action. I want you guys to remember that quote as well. It's very powerful, because if you're not taking action to attract what you want, how could you attract it by doing nothing? You know? Nothing comes from nothing. Nothing must always come from something. So, overall here for you, Aquarius, I do feel like if you want to get yourself remotivated, you first got to get back into the realization that anything's possible. And most importantly, what's possible is your dream life. And you got to start believing that you can have that dream life you want. You know, when you power that belief, it's going to give you motivation. When you have motivation, it's going to make you take action. Boom, then you have the secret recipe. You have the Krabby Patty formula after that. You got here the law of action and the law of attraction working together, and that's what's going to make your dream life start to become your reality. All right, let's go ahead and see what you're dealing with here, jumping into May 2022. What are my Aquarians going to be dealing with? Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2022. We have here the Wheel of Fortune, we got here the Seven of Swords, and then we have here the King of Cups. So, based upon what you're dealing with moving throughout this month, is having to kind of like navigate away from the negative thoughts or the thoughts of defeat. I do feel like that's what the Seven of Swords here is representing. It's representing that I have defeated, or I've been defeated. I'm not going to be able to make my life come true the way that I want it to. You know, all the negative thoughts that are pretty much repetitive and basically bundled up all inside your head, because it seems to me like you've been thinking this way for a while, Aquarius. So because these negative thoughts have been so repetitive, it's become a habit of yours to just not really believe in any other possibilities, especially when it comes towards your life. You've kind of believed that my life is just going to be what it is, and I'm not going to experience the luxury that other people have. It's like when you basically repetitively think like this, it becomes a reinforced habit. So breaking that habit here is going to be pretty difficult. Jumping into May 2022, I do feel here that what you're dealing with is trying to break this habit, and it is a pretty big challenge here for you. But with the King of Cups, that's another great thing to see, because the King of Cups is talking about your emotions. You know, your emotions are one of the most powerful things that you carry. So even if you're thinking negatively, if you could compel yourself to feel otherwise, your feelings and your emotions can be so much stronger than what your thoughts are telling you. So be mindful of this. You know, if you start to think something negative, or if you are thinking negative thoughts in general, allow yourself to pause, reinforce those negative thoughts with positive ones, and then allow yourself to feel what it would be like if you were living your dream life right now. If you could imagine, Aquarius, you were that business person, or you had that business you wanted, or you had all these great relationships in your life, or whatever your dream life is to you, if you can envision yourself living that right now, picture what it would look like. Imagine what you would be dressing. Imagine who you'd be around. Feel what it would be like. Feel the area or the climate or the place you would be at. You know, would it be windy? Would it be hot? Would it be humid? You know, really tune into what you would feel as well. How would you feel emotionally? Would you be happy? Would you feel love? Would you be smiling? Would you be compassionate? Tap into all those feelings and emotions, and that over time can help you break up all these negative and repetitive thoughts and feelings you've been having. Because every time moving forward, here's my challenge to you. Every time moving forward, you have a bad thought or a bad feeling about your future. Every time you put down the future you want for yourself moving forward, Aquarius, I challenge you to stop right there, catch yourself in that negative feeling and thought, and replace it with positive feelings, and replace it with positive thoughts that you are going to be living the dream life that you genuinely desire. That's going to be super beneficial, because what you're doing is positive reinforcement. The act of catching yourself engaging in negativity and replacing it with positivity to break out the repetitiveness that's become a habit of negativity, to start creating a positive habit, to think positive, to feel positive, and to manifest positive things. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and take a look and see where things are going. Where are things going here for Team Aquarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2022. And we have here the Hierophant in reverse, we have here the Emperor, and we have here the Five of Swords. I actually like seeing the Hierophant in reverse here, because the Hierophant in reverse is about taking, or more so breaking a bond that you're having, breaking a commitment, or breaking a sense of obligation. The thing about the Hierophant upright, it could be the card of keeping up with the status quo, taking care of responsibilities, doing what's normal. The Hierophant in the reverse, on the other hand, is about basically breaking away from the status quo, breaking away from the way that normal people think or normal society thinks, and really starting to think for yourself. So I think that jumping into where things are going, you're starting to break away from not only your old habits and ways of thinking, but the way that society's taught you to think. You know, you may have came from a family that's pretty practical. You may have came from an environment that's pretty practical, where they tell you, you know, you don't always get everything in life. Some people just get lucky. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is when people say, yeah, you know, that person just got lucky. Like, there's no such thing as luck. You make your own luck, literally, right? So I think it's really important to recognize that people don't just get lucky out of nowhere. People believe in themselves. People take action in their lives. People constantly dream and pursue what they want, you know, instead of just letting that dream pass them by. You're not lucky. You've just worked hard enough, you've manifested it, you've created it, you've written it because you're the author of your own story. So I see you breaking away here from your old thinking patterns of being a little bit too practical. And if you've been a part of an environment that was always practical like that, and especially an environment that had the mentality of just some people are lucky, other people aren't, you're going to be breaking free from that too. With the Emperor, this is what I like. It's like, okay, the Emperor, this is the energy of control. I'm in control of my life, which means you're going to start stepping up to make your life what you want it to be. If you're realizing that you're in control of your own life and how it goes and whatever direction it's going to be, you're now starting to step into that power. So coming into May 2022, you are the Emperor. You're regaining control back in your life. You're not allowing external influences or environments or the way that you were kind of programmed to think be how you're going to live your life anymore. You're starting to think for yourself. And most importantly, you're starting to think more positively. So taking a look at the Five of Swords here, based upon where things are going, you're severing your ties with old negative thinking patterns and habits. You're basically severing ties with an environment's way of thinking too. Like if you grew up in a family that thinks a certain way, you're really starting to detach from that. Overall, Aquarius, I'm not going to try to ramble too much about it. You're starting to think for yourself, and that's making you feel like you have power and control over your own life again. And your whole entire way of thinking and your habits seem to be changing into a very positive manner. So I love that for you. Let's go ahead and jump to the outcome. What's going to be the overall outcome here for Aquarius? By the way, we did have the Eight of Wands come out, which is a card of transformation, so I love to see it. But what's going to be the overall outcome here for Team Aquarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout May 2022. What's going to be the overall outcome here? And what do we have? We have here the Devil, followed up with the Queen of Swords. I love it, baby. I love it a lot. All right, going into this energy for your outcome, the Devil card. The Devil card is about feeling stuck, feeling trapped, feeling like nothing's going to change. I'm just going to be exactly where I am. And that's what you're breaking free from. You're breaking free from the devil. You're breaking free from your negative thinking patterns. You're breaking free from what society's told you, what your environment's told you. You're breaking free from being the only person and individual in your life that's been holding you back from wanting to live the dream life that you could very much so be living. So you're breaking out of these chains. I love that for you. You're a whole new Aquarian, but also you're a whole new free thinker. Your mind is really outside of the box now here, guys, and allow your mind and the possibilities of what you want for your life to be infinite and limitless. Allow your mind to be open to the fact that anything can happen in your life, including the positive and really good stuff. Okay? All right, Aquarius, I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video here for this monthly, please let me know in the comments below. If you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. And by the way, if this was not a resonating message for you, no worries. Feel free to check out future uploads that I have on the channel, or feel free to check out any other awesome tarot readers on YouTube. But Aquarian, I love you. Enjoy May, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Much love, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.